Good morning and welcome to the Higher Way podcast. Today I have a guest who's long overdue. We had him on before, Martin Sillitoe, the knives, stick and weapons expert. I think I could call you that, can't I? Can I call you an expert, or do you not like being called an expert, Martin?
No.
There's too many of them, isn't there?
Yeah, too many.
I heard something.
Weapons. I just love finding new weapons.
Yeah. Well, I heard something. Somebody once told me, if somebody says they're an expert, X means an unknown quantity and a spurt is a drip under pressure. So that's about sums it up, you know. I've always used that. So, the last time we had you on, I got some really good responses through Facebook and Twitter and that and Instagram. And you're talking about the history, you know, the history of how you got into the martial arts, where you ended up where you are. You know, the organization, the Nickel Stick group that you've got. Obviously, you're one of the representatives of it in, I think, in Europe. Am I right to say?
In the UK. It's just
in the UK. In the UK. Yeah, and it's very traditional Filipino martial arts, obviously. And on the last podcast we did, and it's been a while actually. I'm surprised how quickly the time's gone. I wanted to get you back on. Yeah, it's been ages, hasn't it? And I wanted to get you back on and talk about the different weapons. Huh?
3 months, Bob.
You're joking. That time flies.
I showed I met up with one of my students from Devon.
Right.
He's got martial arts schools down in Devon.
Oh, okay.
And he come up to London and yesterday, and we had a brief meeting, a training meeting, and he's giving me the update.
Yeah.
And I said to him, doing the podcast. And he said, I must have a look. And when I checked, it was 3 months ago on the YouTube.
Oh
thing.
Man, I didn't realise it was that long ago.
I didn't realise. I thought it was only sort of like 6 or 8, 6, 7.
That's exactly what I thought. 6 weeks. That's old age. That is, isn't it? That's amazing. Because I've done a few. Obviously, I've been doing other podcasts, but I was thinking, because I thought, well, because I'd contacted you and said, I've got to get in touch. And I can't believe it's 3 months, but you might be right. There's, wow. There's a few other people I've got to contact as well now then, because I keep thinking it's only 6 weeks.
Well,
we're going back into lockdown, so we've got loads of time now, haven't we?
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about that later, shall we?
We won't talk about that.
Nah, all the martial artists out there said, don't talk about bad news. Let's hear some good stuff for a change. So, you've trained in a variety of weapon systems, primarily Filipino, I think it's fair to say. And the last time we did talk about the different weapons and the tools of your trade, if you like. You said we'd sort a few out, we'd have a look at them, and we'd talk about them individually. I think that'd be a great idea. The different types of weapons, because obviously when people generally think eskrima, if they've never done any Filipino, Indonesian stuff, they just think of sticks or maybe a knife and a stick. They don't think of the other weapons, that, like we were just having a look at a kerambit and things like that. And they don't even think of those things. And when they see them, they're quite surprised and usually shocked. Because they're quite nasty things, aren't they?
Oh,
but they're designed to do a specific job, aren't they?
Yeah. Each weapon, like you said, it's got each design for what they want to do, and the way my philosophy is that if I buy a weapon, I like to not to use it, okay, but to train and how to use it properly. Mainly for it. So it's like the tomahawk or the axe, a kerambit, the knife, the stick, or the bow, the side swords, the karma. I've trained in them, and I like to how you use and try and test it. Try and test it. And see if it works or not, or that won't work, or that technique, and so on. So yeah, I like it, and obviously over the years, so I've collected many weapons. So
yeah, yeah. As you can see by the wall behind you, there's a fine couple of knives up on the wall there, isn't there? Yeah, I can see them in the top there.
When the wife, when we decorated the lounge in the last lockdown,
Yeah,
she did say, she did ask if they can come down, and I said no, they're part of the wall.
they're decorations, aren't they? Yeah,
exactly.
beautiful things.
Yeah. Like but yeah, we can, especially the two there. I don't think you can see it.
Yeah, you can see them. Yeah,
Yeah.
where are they? Are they Filipino?
Yeah, I've got them
Yeah.
from the Philippines, and was in Manila.
Oh, right,
The bottom one is the Camberland.
right.
The top one is the kris.
Yeah,
Kris sword, which is based in the south of the Philippines, or Mindanao.
yeah.
If you would like to see them out their case. They
Yeah,
don't come
yeah,
out.
yeah, that'd be great.
They don't come out the case that often.
Oh, it's a special, a special surprise.
Okay.
Oh, let's have a look.
Now this one here.
Yeah,
This is the Camberland.
right.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, and this is the type of sword what a guy back in 1521, around that era, he was the Lapu Lapu. He's
Right.
the guy who defeated the Spanish
Okay. Yeah.
when the Spanish trying to invade in Matan Island.
Right.
And he defeated the Spanish. They said he used a bolo and a shield, or he used a Camberland and a shield. There's so many different stories, but like I said, this one here is very
yeah, it's quite sharp.
quite sharp and pointed.
Yeah, pointed being the word. Quite pointed.
He defeated the Spanish, and he became the local legend
Right.
on Mactan Island, and he defeated the Spanish by when they come off their ship and they come through the sea. As Spanish wearing a lot of metal armor,
Right.
The plated and the helmets, where the Lapu Lapu tribesmen, they were just like loincloth.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when they went into the sea, because the water made the Spanish heavy.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. It would wear
they
them
made
down,
them
wouldn't it?
heavy because of the water. So that's how they easily defeat the Spanish.
Brilliant.
And they went back to Cebu at their Fort San Pedro.
Right.
So that's the sword what it claimed to be defeat the Spanish.
Yeah, that particular type of weapon. Yeah.
And this one here is what they call the crystal.
Yeah. Oh, there's a kris. Yeah.
And you got the back there.
Standard curved blade shape that you get in kris. Yeah.
And that's from Mindanao, which is the Muslim part of the Philippines.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like most, I'll say not most, but some like the Muslims are that type of weapons, the kris, knife, the dagger, and the sword.
It was the same in Indonesia as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's so this has come from Mindanao, and the other one I got from, well, they both come from the Philippines.
Yeah.
Through my luggage.
Seriously?
Yeah, through my luggage. Yeah.
Did they not say anything? No.
I had a lock knife.
Oh yeah.
With a torch. They confiscated that, but they let me keep them.
That's mad. So they let you keep a weapon that long, but when you got a lock knife, forget it.
Well, there's another story. There's another story. Is that back 5-6 years ago, I bought some extendable battens
Okay, yeah.
in the Philippines,
Uh-huh.
mainly for training purposes.
Yeah.
But then me and my wife was going through Hong Kong,
Right.
and we stayed at Hong Kong overnight
Yeah.
at the airport because we landed there at 10, 11 o'clock at night, and our flight was 9 o'clock in the morning the next day. So when we went to board the plane, um, my name was at the boarding table.
Right.
Got my name, and when Mr. Sillitoe come with us, so I had to go down the stairs, and I look behind. There's my aeroplane standing behind me,
Oh no.
and they said, "Is this your Holdall?" And it was in his van. I said yes, and they took an X-ray, and they asked what's these, which was the extendable battens.
Yeah.
I said extendable battens. Do you know it's against the law in Hong Kong to have them?
Uh-huh.
So I said, well, I'm in transit. So no, well, it's against the law. Did you buy them in Hong Kong? No, I bought them in the Philippines. Never stepped outside Hong
Yeah.
Kong because one, you got to get your passport stamped, and two, you
Yeah.
got to get an immigration slip. So, and that time of night, we just stayed at the airport. So the local policeman, I opened up, and of course he unveiled my bag.
Yeah.
And he see the sticks, he see the training axes, he see
Uh-huh.
the polo what I had in there, he seen the kerambits what I had in there. And of course he's on the radio, and by flying within the next 10 minutes, I had 11 or 12 policemen surrounding me. So I don't know if I was going to do the Jackie Chan bit. Or
Yeah,
Bruce Lee
yeah,
bit.
exactly. Yeah.
So,
That's crazy.
at the time, it was, I can talk about it now, I can laugh about it now.
Yeah.
But at the time, it was, a bit stressful, especially for
Yeah,
my
I
wife.
bet. Yeah.
And they said it was against the law. And I keep saying, like, I'm in transit.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so anyway, I got arrested, taken to court the next day. Anyway, I was on bail. And I'm on international parole.
What?
Yeah. Because I bought two extendable battens through Hong Kong.
But you, like you said, you were in transit. You
Exactly.
didn't. Your intention wasn't to go to Hong Kong at all.
No, it was just like land at Hong Kong,
Yeah.
get my connecting flight, and fly back to London.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, they confiscated it. I got fined. I got bailed and fined, put in the cell for about 2 nights. Yeah, until I went to the court. But yeah, so ever since then, when we come home, my wife said to me, "Please do not buy any weapons."
No.
So now I'll get them posted.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Get them sent.
So yeah. So that was at the time it was a bad experience.
I bet
Well,
it
not
was.
bad experience, a stressful experience.
Yeah, yeah. 2 nights in prison in Hong Kong,
I
and you hadn't even done anything wrong.
No, and I was with a South Korean guy and a Filipino guy.
Uh-huh.
Again, they were in transit, and they had taser guns. Taser
Oh yeah,
guns.
yeah.
Yeah, again, against the law in Hong Kong. But
Right.
again, they was in transit, same as me.
Yeah, and they get arrested as well.
They got arrested, and we spent some time together. My 2 cellmates.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, and again, we all got fined, we all got bailed, and we got fined. And then we was told we'd go home.
Yeah.
That back in 2015.
So you're an international criminal then, really, aren't you?
Yeah, that's what I think.
I shouldn't be talking to you. They might come and arrest me now for knowing a felon.
Well, they did say that it's a possibility that that I might get stopped at airports wherever I go, because
Right.
it's on the computer. I don't know.
Yeah.
But since then, when I went to Austria, which is my next journey after that experience, and I was with my good friend Paul Bennett, and we went to Austria to train.
Oh, right, yeah.
With Peter Weekath, and we had the axes, but we put the axes in his bag. My axes in his bag, so just in case I didn't get stopped.
Yeah, yeah. Did you get stopped or not?
No.
No.
I did have sweat above here.
I bet
when
you
they
did.
looked at my passport, and they looked at me, looked again, and they think, okay, you can go.
Whew.
Like,
I bet Paul Bennett was sweating though, wasn't he? That would have been funny if he'd got arrested.
No, but yeah, he's a very good friend of mine, and yeah, he's helped me out a lot over the years. So and we travel all over the place, me and Paul, all over Europe, all over UK, even to the Philippines.
But you haven't been in prison together?
No,
not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Oh, that's brilliant. I didn't, obviously, I haven't heard that story at all. I was quite surprised. But I didn't expect you to say you were put in prison for 2 nights. I thought you were going to say, well, they had a look at them. It was getting pretty close to being arrested, but they let me go. Yeah. But you didn't. You got locked up. And fined.
The policeman who arrested me, he went to Bristol University. He went to Bristol University, and he was stationed in Hong Kong at the airport police station. And the day solicitor who helped me at the court, he was from North Barnet, North London. How weird's that, eh?
So there was a guy who'd studied at Bristol, and the other guy from Barnet, North Barnet.
Yeah.
Oh my God! But he obviously Chinese, and he's living in Hong Kong.
Yeah. They both were Chinese. And
Chinese, yeah.
I did say to the solicitor, and I said to him, "Why are you in Hong Kong?" He said, "For a better life and to spend with family." And we
okay, yeah. Did he understand your problem? Did he understand it wasn't your fault? I'm sure he did.
Apparently, it's a common thing. But because I had 2, and apparently people only carry 1, so there's a standard 1,000 Hong Kong dollar.
Yeah.
Which at the time I didn't know what the exchange rate was.
No.
I'm looking at £1,000.
Yeah. You're thinking a lot of money.
Yeah, but it works out about 100 quid.
Oh, that's not. It's worth it for the story, isn't it? Come on.
But when the day solicitor said to me, because I had 2 involved, he said there's a possibility that the fine might be higher, or possibility that it might be 6 months in prison in Hong Kong.
What?
Yeah. Now I thought, words to effect, I won't say it on.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
And then sort of like, he said, but if you can raise the money, would you do it? I said, I'll raise the money to just, to do it. I still didn't know what the exchange was.
Yeah, of course not. You're probably thinking 2,000 quid or something.
Yeah, I was on bail for 3,000 Hong Kong dollar.
Hong Kong dollars, yeah.
But when I went to court, I had a translator or a interpreter. And I was the last one to go into court, last one. And I see all these Chinese people, and I thought, wow, they look rough, know.
Yeah.
I thought, wow. But then, I got appeared in front of the judge, and I was told to plead guilty. And they fined me 2,000 Hong Kong dollar, so 1,000 for each one. So I had to go back to the account department downstairs and get my remaining 1,000 Hong Kong dollar.
Yeah.
And I had to use that money to get the taxi back to the airport.
And they confiscated all the stuff as well.
They only confiscated the extendable batons.
but not the.
The weapons, what the Hong Kong police done, they put all the weapons out of my bag and put it in my wife's bag.
Oh, so she took them home.
She took them home.
That's for an extendable baton.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's nuts. What a funny law.
It's crazy.
What a stupid law. It doesn't make any sense, does it?
No. And then when I come back, a week later, I went on Amazon, and because it comes up the history, what I've seen in the past, extendable batons,
yeah,
and come on there, made in Hong Kong.
oh,
yeah. So ever since then, if I buy anything or get anything, I'll get it posted.
Yeah, get it posted. Yeah, it makes perfect sense, that, doesn't it?
And I'll send it to a dodgy address. No, I don't know.
That's weird. Oh, yeah. Well, at least you got the other weapons back.
Yeah, anyone who's listening, like, just be careful.
Yeah.
If you're going through Hong Kong, I don't know what the other laws for the other airport, but Hong Kong, extendable batons, butterfly knife, fireworks, gun, obviously them type. But if you carry them, just be careful. You will get stopped and
you just wouldn't think an extendable baton was considered that dangerous. And the thing is, it's not even it wasn't in your hand luggage, was it?
No, it didn't.
Exactly. So you can't get to it.
No, because it's a concealable weapon.
Yeah, but well.
Well, that's Hong Kong. So Hong Kong, if you're listening, thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Hong Kong. Rats, give us your money back. We want Martin's money back. That's God. Do most of your students know about this? Then have you told them the story?
Yeah, I told them the story.
Some people have heard it. It's just on here. Oh, that because Lucky, Lucky Madahar.
Yeah, I know him very well.
Yeah, because I've got to do another one with him at some point. And he was saying, "Oh, Martin's was really good, like because Lucky's into Eskrima and stuff. So he's been desperately waiting. He'll love this story. He'll love this. And I know what else he love. He wants to see some of your weapons, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, we keep trying to meet up, but things keep,
Oh well, at the moment now it's impossible, isn't it? So.
Yeah. Unless we meet up in the middle of nowhere, we will do one-on-one. So
but not Hong Kong.
Not Hong Kong, no.
Not Hong Kong, no.
Then I've been back through Hong Kong. So since then, I've been back through Hong Kong.
No.
Back in 2017, but I wasn't stopped or nothing. I just let me carry on.
So you mustn't be on their system or anything, like it was just a one-off.
I hope so.
Just unlucky.
Yeah, I was just unlucky, and
I mean, I brought a load of swords back from Thailand, the darb, and the plong, the spears, and the staffs. The big 8-foot staff, and they were all in one big parcel on the flight, and never had any problems at all. We didn't come via Hong Kong though; it was direct flight from Bangkok.
Yeah.
And I think it's just very different, isn't it? I think you just have to try and do some research before people travel. I think that's the thing, isn't it?
I think just research and
and find out what the laws are. I ordered swords, sabers from Russia, and a saber and that was a bit funny in customs. It got held in customs for ages over this side. Russia, it was fine. It was like straight out. It got to the hub at Coventry and it was like held for about 2 weeks, I think 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And I said, it's just a sword. It's a training sword.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, we know that. What are you hanging on to it for? I actually thought I wasn't going to get it at one point.
Well, it's the same as sticks. I bought a load of sticks back from Philippines, got them posted. And it was in customs for about 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah. Well, believe it or not, I've got 10 pairs of shorts from Thailand that have been at the hub for ages. So that's because it comes from Thailand. You know, their shorts. They're not even sharp. They're soft and silky. The elastic band's quite tight. That might be dangerous. You might strangle somebody with it, you know. But no, the laws are funny. The laws are funny. But I mean, luckily, I mean, because somebody said to me, "Are you allowed to have swords and weapons in the house? And can you transport them?" And the answer is you can, can't you? Providing they're put away in a bag and you can't get your hands on them. So you know, when I take any swords or weapons anywhere, I put them in the boot of the car in a zipped up bag and stuff. I'm sure that's what you do. So
yeah, well, most of my weapons I keep indoors. So if anything, I'll just take the trainers, like the training knife or the
training knives,
the training axe. But the live weapons, what I call the live, like bladed weapons, I keep them indoors. And bring them out and clean them now and again. Because they do get a bit dusty and lonely, so I had to
a lot of people think it's funny because you said something quite important at the beginning. You said you like to learn how to use them, but not actually, you don't actually want to use them on anybody, you know? And I think quite a lot of people, when they see, you know, people like us who train in the martial arts specifically with weapons, they think we're some kind of psychopath. But in actual fact, it's about the skill, isn't it? Learning to use the different types of weapons.
Exactly. Same as the kerambit, the knife, the stick, and obviously the tomahawk or the axe. And obviously other weapons, the sai and armor and so on, nunchuck or whatever.
Yeah, because you mentioned the sai there, which is a Japanese weapon, and you mentioned the kama, which is an Okinawan and Japanese weapon as well. Do they use the kama in the Philippines then as well, or not?
No. It when back in the day when I was doing karate, that's when I learned the fly and the kama, the bow, the jo. So they're in that time. Then when I went to the Asian, well, it's Asian, but
Southeast Asia,
for Filipino side of it, and then different concept of weapons.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
It's just transformed, and I was like the first weapon. It was obviously my stick. So
of course, the good old rattan Ken.
Stick, and then from there it was the kerambit after that. Then obviously the knife. I've been playing with the knife for ages. And then sort of like after the kerambit, it was the tomahawk and the axe.
You keep mentioning this axe, and I know why. It's because you're desperate to get your chopper out, aren't you? We all want to. We all want to see this now, right? Just should I warn people that what you're gonna do? There it is. Go on, tell the story of your massive axe.
In there, look.
You're gonna. I bet you go to the shops with that, don't you?
Well, I can put this on my belt. See?
Oh, look at that! Yeah.
I can put that on my belt, and then I can walk down.
Yeah, like some crazy Viking.
Well, well, you might. Someone might be trapped in their home or in their car. So emergency, what you call emergency tool.
Yeah. So okay, tell us the story. I know the story, but people don't because we were talking about it earlier on. Tell us the story of the old axe there.
Well, this axe was a birthday present for my very good friend Paul Bennett. He's the UK representative of Sammy. His teacher is Peter Weekat, based in Austria. And he, me and Paul learned. Well, Paul was the one who got me into the tomahawk and the axe fighting back in 7 or 8 years ago, or more. And he asked me would I be interested, and I thought, new weapon, yes, okay. So we got the what you call the cold steel trench hawk, and we sort of like before we we flew out to Peter Weecat is that we just use them as sticks, as we've thought of. But when you start learning the axe and the tomahawk, how it's properly used, and the part of the axe is completely different.
Right.
He really saw like wow, and that. So so he got me this. It's beautiful. Axe, and there's different parts of the axe what we learned. So this here is obviously the blade of the axe, and here is the heel.
Right.
Okay, and that's the toe.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, so you've got different parts, and this bit here is called the beard. Okay, because he's also for hooking.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Around the neck.
Yeah.
Okay, this bit here is the shoulder.
Right.
And that here is the belly or the throat. Okay, well the throat is here. This is the belly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is true, but the here is called the knob.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
You've got quite a big. It has been said you've got quite a big knob there, Martin. I mean,
it's all depends how you use it. Okay. Then this here is called the eye.
Okay.
The axe. The face here is called the cheek.
Right.
So the cheek of the blade.
Yeah.
As from there. Okay. So and this here, you find some of them will have a spike.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And some of them will have no spike, but they call that the butt. So you've got the arm, the toe, the blade, the heel, the beard, the belly, the shoulder, the throat, the knob, and the butt.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, all the different parts of the weapon.
And obviously you can hold it one.
Yeah.
You hold it in the middle.
Yeah.
Or you hold it from here.
Oh, there. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously
you can use it sort of two-handed.
Yeah. It's all better. Yeah, you can use two, or you can use one.
Yeah.
One-handed, one-handed, one-handed. So from there, because you can come in this way.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
From here, or strike up.
Yeah.
So the axe angles is similarity to the 12 stick angles.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask about that. Yeah, the angles. So the angles of attack. Because that's common wherever you go. You've got these angles, haven't you? Got the number system. I mean, even in Western sword, broadsword, saber, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You know, so those very, very similar. And it's funny you were talking about the spike that you sometimes get on the.
I've got one.
Ah, you would have, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
So,
you see, there's a Hungarian weapon. There's a weapon in a Hungarian weapon which is very similar to that, called a Fokos, F-O-K-O-S, and it's very seriously F-O-K. It's nothing to do. No, it's called the Fokos. I believe it's called the Fokos. Yeah, and you hack in, you use the spike as well. So. Yeah. What's that? Who made that one then?
No, I actually bought it online.
Oh, okay.
And I've just quite like the look of it.
Yeah.
And it's got a nice weight.
Yeah.
Again, he's one-handed and it's two-handed. But yeah, I like the spike, obviously, the blade here and the eye. And it's all different types.
Has it got a big knob?
This one's got
it's only a little knob on that one. Yeah,
there's only a little knob to the other one. You've got a big knob.
Yeah, you gotta have a balance there, haven't you?
And then obviously you got these ones here.
Oh, what's that?
That's a tactical bolt.
I thought so. You can tell all the black stuff on it. Like yeah.
So again. You got that there, grabbing at the throat, and also grabbing at the shoulder if it's close to it, then like a kerambit type.
Yeah. I was going to say just like the kerambit where you whip it
In.
across. Yeah.
So, and people, stories is that what I heard, I don't know if it's true or not, but there was a lot of military use in it in Afghanistan.
Okay. Yeah.
Mainly the USA guys,
Right.
and the British start using them.
Right.
It was their last alternative weapon when they breaking in someone's house
Yeah,
and
of course.
the guns run out of bullets. Then obviously they used the hacksaw to smash their way in. And
Yeah.
obviously it's the last opportunity weapon and what they use.
Yeah.
That's what we're told. So so I started using the tomahawk and hatch with Paul Bennett with Peter Weekap over
Right.
in Vienna in Austria.
Uh-huh.
I reckon. So, and obviously you got the Chinese one.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah, the hatchet, what they call the hatchet.
Yeah.
Again, that's what the Chinese gang use mainly.
Okay. Yeah.
In the description.
Yeah.
So that's So so basically, I learned the tomahawk and axe with Paul Bennett under Sammy, and learning it, how to use it, how to fight with it, and we actually spar with the axes, with trainer axes. So we got like what I said earlier, the cold steel trank hawk. Was made out of solid plastic,
right?
Unbreakable plastic. And what we done, we put foam around it.
Okay, so it doesn't have as much impact. Yeah.
Yeah, and we use what we do for stick fighting: the body armor, the helmets, the gloves, the groin box, everything else. And we actually tried and test it to see if we can diffuse it or disarm it or trap it or whatever.
How did that work? How did that work out?
Great fun.
I bet. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Sometimes some of the techniques, same we do stick. Sometimes you do technique with like what I call a traditional way.
Yeah.
But when you apply it to sport. Is the timing and the technique and put that into you, and sometimes it doesn't work, so yeah, we just apply it, see if it does work, see if it does work in that way, or especially when you hook it round the back of the head with the axe, all through and use the axe here and use your forearm say the axe is say this one here, the back of the head,
hook around the neck.
You've got the heel going back in your neck, and at the same time he's pressing that in. So we're trying to use that different concepts and hooking and transition over. So and some techniques work and some techniques didn't work. So, but it's try and error.
Well, that's true of any fighting system, isn't it? You bring it back down to basics and find out what works and what doesn't work.
Exactly.
Which is what I liked when I first got into the Filipino martial arts. It was a lot simpler than a lot of the other like Japanese systems that I'd been involved in. It had a better flow to it. It made a lot more sense to me. Just the fluidity of the movement and the angles, of course, Whereas the Japanese systems were all, that I learned, certainly were all based on kata, and they were all very, very regimented, everything was, that's it. Yeah, all of this was.
You must be.
That's it. Must be exactly. And if your foot's in the wrong position, the sensei would come and hit you. And you think, well, you do that. I remember thinking that when one of my karate teachers, Anoida, a Japanese sensei who's dead now, and he was telling us all, keep your heel down when you move. And I was watching him and I was like, he hasn't got his heel down. It was one rule for them and one rule for us,
Yeah.
But the Filipino stuff, when I learned that, It was really fluid. I thought, oh, as long as your feet are in more or less the right position, do you feel balanced? Where's your live hand? You know, make sure you use your live hand. And it was, I just thought, oh, this is so much better.
Yeah, the live hand. When I teach and I tell my students, none you got the stick in one hand,
Yeah,
none you got the stick in this hand.
yeah,
This is more dangerous than this.
yeah, yeah,
Like, you know, transition over, you can punch, you can grab, you can elbow if you're getting close quarter,
exactly.
and I get frustrated. I don't know if frustrated or not, but it's when I see someone with their arm down, their
Oh,
live
yeah,
hand,
yeah,
their arm
yeah.
down. And I'll go, man, I don't do it. I'll just tap them on the arm. I'm up,
Uh-huh.
pick them up. And after a while, it gets a bit harder for them, you know. I said, just keep him up. So out from there, and that is more important. God, you can punch, you can check or come around and grab and transition over. And so this is always like, or for parry as well, but always is always there. That is your
It's absolutely. Well,
if you're or right-handed, you must, you know, it doesn't matter. So it is what it is. So
and even in Western fencing, they talk about they call it enclosing command. We would call it trapping. So you use your free hand to trap the opponent if you can get in close with a broadsword. So you parry with like what's called a St. George's guard, and you move into range and wrap their arm like a snake disarm, you know, like a snake, and then hit them with the pommel of the sword. When I first saw that in Western sword, I was like, oh, okay, cool. I like that. Because you think of sword fencing like this, you know. But in fact they try, typical Scotsman, they want to get stuck in, you know, with the basket, because the basket hilt obviously protects the hand, so you can smash someone in the face with it.
I mean, it's the same as stick. When you're sparring, okay, from now to do you snake your arm around, trying to disarm it. And sometimes he's holding on to, you know,
that's it, holding on to that one.
And then try and do that, and then
headbutt him down the middle.
Well, I went to Paul Bennett, done a axe and tomahawk grading. 2-3 weeks ago, and I went along and I was on the panel with him.
Right.
So, and there's two guys, and I had to spar for one. I've done all the techniques. It was good. Done all the techniques, the training, and then the sparring come into it. So I had to have fully armour, and they used the trench hawks with padded, the sparring. Then after that, they used the fencing mask and used he has tomahawks or axes made up with rubber foam with a stick inside. And you still get a sting out of it.
Oh yeah.
That's where the technique comes in.
Yeah.
So you ain't got the body armor now, which, you know, take your blows, same as the stick. And when you do low armor fighting with the live stick, you get whack on there. It stings. So obviously what you want to do is, like, you want to block that technique or counter that technique. So it's the same thing on the axe side of it, and then the tomahawk, and for an hour, and they've done very well. And one of the guys, he was just, you know, just shattered at the end of it. But it was a couple of bruises and whatever. But that's life, isn't it?
That's part of. Don't do stick. Don't do weapons training unless, you know, you're gonna. It's like doing Muay Thai. Somebody once said to me, "Will I get any bruises or anything doing?" Yeah, probably. So if you're not used to getting bruised, you don't want to be doing this. Like, even though there's control, but you're still going to get it. It's the same with sword. You know, you got a padded jacket and a helmet. You're still going to get bumps and bruises. You know.
I mean, two of my guys was training yesterday with padded stick, and it was on the media, and it was all done accidental, and Chris didn't have a groin box on.
Oh.
So he got tapped on the tip of the paddy stick on his bag. And it was a very painful experience. So, like this morning when he was training, he got caught in the knuckles.
Oh yeah, that's always nice.
and it's part of training.
Of course it is. I know.
When I'm training a student and they hit me head or hit me hand, and I go, sorry.
Yeah.
Don't worry, let's carry on training. I know it wasn't intentional. If I knew it was intentional, then he would have had payback.
It would be different. Yeah.
I know he's learning, and I know he's all tensed up and like, because I don't know, because of me or whatever. He's learning and he's trying to, must do this, must do that. So
that's it. Yeah.
Yes, I said, just relax, just relax, and just go with the flow, and it'll be fine. So yeah, I know I could tell if it's an accident or is intentional. So yeah, it's fine.
I think when you've had the amount of experience we've had, you always know whether somebody means it or not. And you always get hit by your students. I've always been, every now and again you get clobbered. And you just go, it's all right. You didn't mean to do it. And they're terrified, like, because they're thinking there's going to be some sort of comeback. No, there's only going to be comeback if it was intentional.
Because at the moment, especially when a new student, they ain't got the confidence, they ain't got the confidence over the weapon. And I keep saying to them, it's like, especially when I tell the students from there, always hold the stick like this. So you got an inch and a half, because you can do the transition, or you can do the punio or the butting, and from there. And I see some systems, but they have it like this.
Oh yeah,
like this, and I can't. I don't know. I never asked the question why, because I don't like to opinionate on other systems. So I tell mine to hold it here, and is just to hold it, but don't hold it tight.
No.
Because after a while, all that gets hard and stressed out and ached. And I say to them, just relax, let the hand control the stick. Don't let the stick control the hand. So, but when you doing impact training, so like when you actually go in to do the technique, that's when you tighten up. And you go in. So it's the same as any bladed weapon. That's the way I.
No, it's true. Absolutely. I mean, every weapon I've ever been trained in, and that's up to the present day where I'm doing broadswords and sabres and spadroons and hangers and stuff like that. All of the old masters say you only tense the hand when you're blocking or striking. You never, the hand is loose. It's always loose. And I was always taught that.
Control the weapon. But don't let the weapon control your hand or
and it's about thinking about, because you see people pick up weapons and it's like, it's like you say, the weapon's controlling them, it's like
this is fun.
And it's about well, I say to the guys who've already trained with me, when they start picking up weapons, I say, look, it's just an extension of your punch. That's all it is. It's an extension of your arm. So imagine you're throwing a hammer fist, but you've got a stick in it this time, or a knife or a sword. It's that loose feeling. And that's when they start to get it, particularly in Thai boxing, because the elbows are like knives anyway. They're cut. It's those short cutting movements. And I think it is difficult picking up a weapon for the first time because of those things that you explained, about tension in the hand. People grip. It's even, even when people are about to punch, their fist is so tense before they punch. I said, no, you don't. Just relax your hand until you hit them. Don't waste any energy. It's it's all about efficiency, isn't it?
Yeah, because after a few minutes, the energy's gone, because you can feel the tension in the arms.
Oh yeah, you're knackered.
The arms are aching. Yeah, because you're tensing. You just relax, just go with the flow. And when you come to the impact with someone else, that's when you have a firm grip and you have control of the weapon. So
and that's true. And I think, do you find then, when you started with weapons, picking up other weapons is a lot easier now?
Yes, when I picked up the stick, then before the stick, I was learning the kerambit again with Master Paul Bennett. and he's the ones like these ones here.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's have a look at the kerambit, because people have heard the word, but some people wonder what they are. So they come in all different sizes, don't they?
All different type. I've got that one now. You got this one here.
Yeah. So it's a shorter weapon but broader.
One. You got the little
tiny little ones. Yeah.
There, which that goes in here.
Yeah.
I could use it that way. Some people use it this way, but the way I was taught is use this way.
Yeah.
And then you've got the one from here.
Yeah.
And that's so that comes in and we'll flick it about.
Yeah, because you got to be careful when you flick those kerambits around, haven't you?
Yeah.
Enough said. Yeah, we know.
And obviously you got these ones. These are the older ones. And
that's a nice look. That's a nice one.
It is a nice one. Again, same as the axe. Okay, so from now you that's obviously the ring.
Yeah.
From there, some has got like a break on it.
Oh, okay.
If I can find one. Okay. So this is the neck kerambit.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So from there, where you got there, a little. They call it break.
Yeah.
From there, so when you flick out, it breaks.
Oh, yeah, you can. Yeah.
So from there, you got obviously the front brake, the back brake there, the ring.
Yeah.
And then obviously from there, this is the spine.
Okay.
Spine, this bit here. Yeah. Obviously you've got the outer edge. Yeah. You've got the inner edge, and you've got the point. Yeah. So again, and that's obviously the handle, the shaft. So yeah, there's all different types of different kerambits.
Because I've seen some really tiny ones as well that people have worn around their neck.
Yeah, that's the one. But yeah, little ones. This one.
That's it. Yeah, and they just pull them out, don't they? And they can
pull them out from there. Yeah. Obviously you got this one here, which is the cold steel one. Again, you got the brake, front back brake there. Again, it's pointed. Then you got the grip. So yeah, there's all different types of kerambits. Again, I learned and trained with Paul Bennett. Again, like the stick and the axe, you have got the angles.
Yeah.
And so you learn the angles from there, but you downwards. Yeah. And Paul Bennett once said is that nowadays where people wear jackets and overcoats. Yeah. It's much different in the days when in Salat days is where they had just a loincloth and so it's a lot easier. But now you get caught, and so you use the other hand to
to force it through, like yeah.
And the same thing as the axe as that comes in, because tried it on a pig. Okay, for the cutting purposes. And using that as a body part, the weapon does get stuck into the.
Yeah.
So you grab and you pull it.
Force it through. Yeah. So it's all adaptation to different situations, isn't it?
Oh yeah. So with the cold pig with obviously it was eaten afterwards.
But we'd have to waste it, wouldn't it?
Yeah. But it's just just training, learning, and understanding the weapon.
Yeah.
And that's my theory. You get a weapon, you want to know everything about the weapon. Don't matter if it's stick or blade, kerambit, anything.
Yeah. If you could only pick one out of all the weapons you've got, what would it be? That's a difficult question, I know, because they're all different, aren't they? And they have different applications. But
the axe.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah.
Is that because you've just got it?
No,
you do like that, don't you? You do like that axe. Yeah.
I've got another one here.
Yeah. I knew you would have. You're like a big kid at Christmas. Can I have an
Well,
axe, Dad? I know what to buy you for your birthday next year now.
it's like that one here.
That looks like a climbing axe.
No,
It's not, obviously.
it's again. This is a birthday present of a Paul.
Oh, right. Okay.
2 years ago. So
Yeah.
but this is from USA, from America.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, made in USA. So,
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. You can also chop wood with it as well, can't you?
Well, I've got some throwing axes and some SOGs.
Right.
SOGs are you actually throw them?
Yeah.
And I went around to Paul's house one Saturday afternoon, and he's got a tree trunk wood bottom of his garden, and we was throwing them. Yeah, that's good fun.
So they're going to be better balanced, aren't they, for throwing?
Well, you just again you got to get your distance. You got the flick when you flick them or throw them.
Yeah.
And yeah, some of them they've gone in, and then you throw the other one, and it's good fun.
It's good fun though. Yeah.
I recommend it. I recommend if you have a chance, go axe throwing. Go for it.
Yeah. Okay. I'll take you up on that. When the lockdown's over, I'll come down and we'll do a bit of axe throwing together.
Yeah, good.
I'll make a complete fool of myself.
No,
Woof.
It's all good fun, and so long and the way I was learned and taught, always respect the weapon.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Blunt or sharp, always respect the weapon.
Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah.
So,
and I think everything from handguns, weapons, firearms, all the way through to empty hands. The first thing is, like you've said, you learn about the weapon, and it teaches you to respect the weapon. And because the weapon, specifically knives and edge weapons, don't have any allegiance to anybody. They cut anything they come into contact with. Yeah. So you've got to be careful. I mean, I've got a friend who cut himself badly doing a knife demo. I mean, really badly. And after that, he was a lot more careful. And it's about taking your time. Whenever you're working with any edge weapons, is be careful, respect the weapon, and take your time. Learn the techniques properly, and you should be fine.
Should do. And also when you pass it to someone.
Oh yeah,
saying, oh, here it is.
No,
you turn it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
When I see that, and I go, blah blah blah, delete.
Yeah.
What are you doing? No, respect.
Yeah.
It's the same with the stick. When you give the stick to someone else, okay, you hand it back.
That's it. Yeah.
Just respect. Respect the weapon. Doesn't matter if it's a piece of wood, piece of metal, or whatever it may be. Sharp or blunt. Respect it.
Well, I mean, even when I used to take guys down to Brecon Beacons doing like survival training, and of course we've got machetes for chopping wood and stuff. And I used to say to the guys, okay, you've all got a machete there. When you hand it, if somebody asks you to borrow it, you hand it over like this. And they're all going, what? I said, listen to this, because otherwise you're going to get cut, and you don't want to get cut when you're out in the woods and there's no help nearby. Look at that.
Yeah.
That's a nice machete.
Yeah, a Latin machete.
What length's that? That's got to be 30 odd inches, hasn't it?
Yeah, 32, I think.
32 inches. I thought so. Yeah, that's.
I don't know. Hold it.
Yeah.
Oh, let's 26. 26.
Yeah. Right.
26 inches.
That's.
So. Yeah.
Oh, you're not going to believe this, Martin, but that's an hour we've just been on.
No, really?
Seriously, an hour. Look, I'd like you to come back on, because we're back in lockdown, aren't we?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, go on then. Oh yeah. Oh, that's a proper machete. That is.
Yeah. Well, in the time in the Philippines, when the Japanese or the USA invaded the Philippines, Philippines weren't allowed to have pointed weapons.
So they cut. Ah, right.
So they done that. Yeah.
I wondered, you know, when I've seen machetes like that, I've always wondered why they had that end missing.
Yeah. Because
That's
they're
the
one
reason.
that to be pointed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. So
But why don't we? Why don't we set up another one of these in a couple of weeks, and we'll
Yeah.
talk about machetes and the way the machete's used and the history of the machete.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
today we've just talked about choppers, basically. But very
Choppers are not-
interesting. I mean, I think
choppers are not-
we've all learned something about, you know, where your knob is and where your eye is and your heel is and your toe.
Yeah. And then your buddy.
And you know, no, but seriously, I think it was definitely worth talking about those axes. And you obviously got this big thing about them now, haven't you? It's one of your favourite weapons.
Look, I'll just show you one more.
Go on then. Go on. Go on. Martin's gone off to get. Don't know what sort of weapon this is going to be. Ah, oh my God, that was worth waiting for.
Yeah.
That is a fine weapon, and look at the size of your knob. It's huge.
Exactly. Yeah.
What is that? What type of axe is that?
Well, it's a Viking axe.
Ah, right. That's a true Viking axe, is it?
But it's a trainer. It's a trainer.
Right. Oh, is that synthetic?
Yeah, it's trainer.
Oh, yeah. Got it look real.
A very, very good friend of mine. He made it for me. So, yeah, he's just swinging it around, and obviously you got the beard. And you can hit it, come down from there. So
yeah, that's huge. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, very. I had to show it to you.
Oh no! I'm glad you did, because that sort of finish. That's the biggest chopper you've got. So it's the biggest axe you've got. So we'll finish on that, on having a look at the size of your big axe, synthetic though it is. So I've heard. And let's get you back on for part 3, where we can talk about. Let's talk about machetes. And how they're used and the background to the machete, because that was quite interesting what you were saying about the end of that machete. And in the meantime, what I'll do is I'll dig out a couple of mine and we'll compare the length of our machetes the next time I see you.
We compare our weapons, eh?
Yeah, we will. Typical blokes.
I call them toys. I don't call them weapons. I call
they're
them
toys. They're toys. Absolutely.
Toys.
Yeah. So on that note, Martin, I just want to say thanks very much, mate.
Yes.
As always, a pleasure talking to you, and I'll see you in part 3 in our new lockdown.
Yeah.
All right.
I look forward to that, Bob. I look forward to that.
I look forward to that. Thanks, Martin.